Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode number 22 of the Void Frogs podcast. My name is Stiflerd, and I am joined, as always, by my co-host, Lieutenant the Q Magnet, and
Lieutenant?
a very special guest.
Yeah, just a very special guest. There's no intro that can do this man justice. He's a pillar of Minecraft community, a king of YouTube. Over a decade on the scene, he's got the most watched Minecraft video of all time, 4 billion views across 7 different YouTube channels. He's a music producer, a game producer, a Forbes 30 under 30, a voice actor, a car enthusiast, and he can also bench press an entire bench. I believe. Champion in our hearts, he's captured the world while remaining one super down-to-earth dude. Aw, man, turn it up, because we are taking back the night, and this episode is going to be TNT. We are so incredibly honored to have the one and only Captain Sparklez, Mr. Jordan Maron!
Woo! Hi!
Oh my god. That's where we end this,
that?
right? Because I
Cool.
can't possibly live up to that intro right there.
Right.
Yeah,
Come on.
it's just all stuff from your Wikipedia.
Yeah.
We just
Oh,
ripped it off
God.
there and threw it on there, brother.
At least my Wikipedia has an image now. It took me a really long time to get them to approve an image that I was like, no, I made this. You can use it. And they're like, we don't know that we have the copyright permissions to use this image. I'm like, no, I'm me. You can.
I thought
got it
anybody
sorted.
could add whatever they wanted on Wikipedia.
No, they're really strict about the whole thing.
Huh.
really.
I don't know how anyone gets any images onto anything. It's quite impressive.
Are you saying that we can source Wikipedia now the kids can do it in their reports? It's actually
If you want to use that image in the Wikipedia corner, go right ahead.
Nice. Jordan,
Awesome.
how's it going, man? Welcome to the show.
Good to be here. I'm doing well.
Good.
It's been a regular day, I guess. Went for a drive earlier in the morning, which I do on Sunday mornings, and now we're here.
Nice.
And it was actually my first time back in a restaurant in 4 months.
Yeah. It's been a while.
That
Weird.
reminds me. I was going to ask you, this was like my top question. Where are you getting your haircuts? Because nothing is open over here where I am from.
I mean, it's now, I think hair salons are okay to be back open as of like a week ago.
Yeah.
And whenever this goes up, it will have been a little while.
Yeah.
But I had my guy come to my house. He actually, I remember he mentioned that to me before any of the, I call it the crown in case this goes up on YouTube. I don't want you demonetized. So the crown,
Yeah.
he mentioned he did it before that. And then midway through, I was like, oh yeah, he does house calls. So I hit him up and he's like, oh yeah, I'll come on over. So
He's a
just
house
set
call
up,
hairdresser.
grabbed a bar stool, put it in the kitchen, and it was a relief.
Man.
Does he come to Canada?
That might be expensive.
Yeah.
For the right price, though.
I haven't had one since when did it start? Middle of March.
Mm-hmm.
It's dying. Actually, monumentous occasion. You are the first guest we have ever had where I actually put hair product in
Whoa.
to kind of spice it up for the viewers.
That is a
If you're not on
special
YouTube,
day.
you're missing
Wow.
this. It's actually
Wow.
stuck.
He's never done this. Is wild.
I've never done it
This
before.
is wild.
Oh,
No,
I kind of
my-
expected a suit and tie, but
Oh.
whatever. I'll take what I get.
Oh.
I have nothing.
No, he's got the wig.
I
but
have a
that's about
back
it.
scratcher. I could wear like a
Yeah.
tie.
There you go. Hey, that's fancy. That is fancy. Oh.
Yeah.
Hey, I need to join the club. What's going on
You
here?
do. Mine's a dollar store.
Oh, mine's Amazon Bear Claw back scratcher.
The Bear Claw.
Nice.
All right, Mr. Jordan Maron. Maroon, as
Marin,
your Twitter
you got
says.
it, actually.
Marin.
It's
Jordan.
French? No.
Jordan.
Jordan. Man of
works
many
too.
names. What an amazing opportunity to have you here. I am blown away. I have been kind of nervous, but at the same time, really excited because you're not only like champion of Minecraft, but also champion of YouTube. You've done so much stuff. Look at him, and he's got humble eyes. That's the thing. we want to kind of go over your history, some questions you've probably been asked a million times, but hopefully when people look up your name, they come to our video and they get the answers.
Yeah.
So first off, what do you want to say?
Well, yeah, before we get into questions, I do want to say we've been scouring. We've been doing some deep dives trying to find out things about Mr. Captain Sparklez here.
Okay.
And we found some things that are pretty interesting. We think they'll be good. But here's the thing that's difficult, Jordan. You are such an authentic guy. At least you seem to be.
Yeah.
And you have given so many interviews and talked with so many people over the years. And you shared so much stuff in all of your videos.
I know. What new is there?
What is there? What can
new?
we talk about except back scratchers and Sunday morning drives? So, we're going to ask you some questions. A bunch of people, if they're fans of you at all, they need to already know this stuff.
They would.
But
they would know it more than
so
we
this
know
is just test preparation,
this
really.
this is the warm-up. This is the warm-up, all right? So, all right, Q, go ahead.
All right. So off the top, normally we say introduce who you are, but everybody knows you. Like everybody, the Pope knows who you are. So
that's debatable. I highly doubt that one.
Well, he was on last week and he was saying, "Oh yeah. Me and everybody."
Why are you excited for me if you have the Pope?
Because you're Captain Sparklez.
Yeah. All right.
Okay, so first off, I always like to ask people, where did your name come from? Now, we know the answer to this, but you can answer it so that people can hear it straight from you.
I was going to say, I hope this is just a trivia question for you guys.
Yeah.
So it was, I had a previous channel. I mean, I still have it. I have the login info, but it was not exactly like a brand safe, kid-friendly name. Pros don't talk shorts.
Yep.
And this was back when I had about 20,000 subscribers or so.
22,000.
Okay. He knows better than I do. And I was having a little debate, like, is this going to work long term? What if someone ever had to write an article and mention my channel name? Sounded super far-fetched at the time. But still started weighing on me. And then eventually I was talking to another YouTuber, CNanners. We were playing games. I think it was Halo, actually. I kind of remember what we were playing that night. And I'm like, so I've been thinking about making a new channel. He's like, oh, if you do it, you better name it Captain Sparklez. And so I kind of thought about it. He was joking, of course, but I couldn't really come up with another name because I'm terrible at coming up with names for things. And so I just ended up going with it. And I'm sure he never thought it was going to amount to anything. I never thought it was going to amount to anything. And now here we are 10 years later. And now that's how people know me in most places.
How did he come up with this? Is just a ridiculous thing he thought of in his mind and dared you?
Yeah. I don't know. You'd have to ask him. I never went into like the psychology of why did he come up with the name Captain Sparklez. I think he just thought it sounded funny at that moment.
Yeah. And whose idea was to put the Z? I call it Z. Apologize. This one time.
Are you from the UK?
I'm from the Canada.
I guess you're Commonwealth, so it kind of makes sense.
I am.
That was because the S was taken. So
really?
I was like, can we just do a Z? Sure, that's available. Here we go.
Is that still a YouTube channel?
I mean, I think so back then, I don't know how long the policy has been changed for, but like you made your YouTube channel and you had that URL. And so that channel probably still exists. I don't know if it's active. So you can kind of, I guess if an account's been active for a few years and you know someone at YouTube, you can kind of get it back. But who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah. It's probably not worth it at this point.
I think we're established enough.
I think so. So here's an interesting thing that I found out about you. A lot of the people that we've had on this show got started. They were doing just videos for fun, and I know that you did that as well. Like especially on your first channel, you were just doing some videos for fun, and then it took them years before they decided I want to do this all the time. You kind of made that decision early on. I want to make YouTube my full-time job. I want this to be my career. Is that correct? Am I like off on the timeline here?
If you look at it retroactively, it is quick, I suppose, because it was within just under 2 years or so. but at that time, it felt like it was going on for a while, and I had been mulling over the decision for probably 8 months at that point.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like I arrived at this one night and said, you know what? Screw all my other responsibilities. Let's see if this is going to work. Sure, there's a let's see if this is going to work to it.
Yeah.
But it was already far exceeding any sort of starter income I could hope to get with any degree out of school. And it had been that way for at least 6 months at the time. So it wasn't this ultimate gamble. The only reason it felt that way is because A, it's brand new, not established. And this has only been around and people doing YouTube full time for at that point, probably 3 years or so.
Yeah.
And there were only a handful of them who were making it work. And my mom was also very, very big on the clear-cut path of you do well in school, get good grades in high school, you go to university, you get a degree, and then you go get a career using that degree. And so the idea of me dropping out was like, whoa, this is interrupting the entire plan that was laid out for you, and that's a bad decision. I showed her the numbers. I said, look, this isn't some kind of crazy gamble. There's some evidence behind this. Still, that did not change anything. It was against her wishes, but I mean, she's sort of come around at this point, but it took a while before she, I think, realized that, you know what, maybe there's something to this. And, could say that, you know what, that was not a bad decision.
Yeah, sure. There's no.
Now she goes, oh, my boy, he's Captain Sparklez. I'm Mama Sparklez. Just so you know, she gets like good seats at the restaurants.
No, I really don't think it works that way.
No,
I'm not an A-list actor. There's a real big difference. Maybe there are probably some YouTubers who are approaching that point, but I'm not one of them.
One day. And that's actually a topic I want to talk about a little bit later is being in LA. I've got some friends out there in LA who are in the movie scene and stuff. And but I want to talk about that a little bit later. But
yeah, you skipped my second question. I like to ask our guests. Okay,
get to it.
Now this one I already know most of the answer for, and I like to ask people where you get your skin from, because you started as Batman. Great choice. You went to your skin based off of your revenge video. But how'd you come up with you did revenge yourself, I believe, right? That was your project?
I was provided with the models by Bootstrap Buckaroo, and I animated everything in that video, but I did not create the models.
So I guess what I was asking was your character or the rapper.
I created the skin.
Yeah.
I didn't create the boxes and the blocks. Not that for someone as talented as him, that's a very difficult thing to do, but I didn't make them and I didn't rig it. I was provided with the models and the rigs. But yes, I made the skin for the character based off of the appearance of Usher in that music video.
Off of Usher, okay. Because I looked at them side by side and I'm like, is it Pitbull? Is it Usher? I actually am not into pop music, so I'd never seen that video until this week.
Oh, really? Okay.
I knew the song. But speaking of music,
you talking about Revenge or
yeah, no, I've obviously heard Revenge many times. I've never heard the Usher. I've heard the Usher song. I never watched the video for the Usher.
Yeah. Well,
which is pushing me into another thing I wanted to ask you about, because your older videos, you will spin around in chair and you play guitar. Were you a rocker? You no?
When I was in 7th and 8th grade, I was in like a casual middle school band with some friends. And then they, without telling me, this is some big drama back then. Without telling me, they brought in a new guitarist. And they just didn't tell me. I was like, I wonder where practices have been happening. What's going on with that? And then I heard from somebody else outside that, dude, they brought in, his name was Sean. They brought in Sean to be the guitarist.
Oh, that's
and I was
rude.
Like, dude, at least tell it to my face.
Yeah.
Come on.
Dang, yeah. You know what? That kind of happened to me.
Really?
In high school,
I'm sorry, man.
I was kind of on the verge of quitting, and then they brought in some other guy. I don't know what happened to him, but like same thing. I heard from someone else. I was replaced.
I did
Still shedding a tear.
I did exactly the opposite. I was the singer.
You were the replacement.
You replaced someone else without telling them?
No, I had a band and I replaced the band. I got another.
Oh, you just went to a new band.
I guess you could say that, but I just told them all like, nah, you guys, like I've got these other guys we've been practicing the last few weeks, like. And that's
you were cheating on your entire band all at once. Oh my God, man.
They were terrible.
I thought we had good chemistry. We did a performance in the lunch area at school during one school day. And people were like, oh, you're not bad. Not bad. And I thought after that, I had really solidified my place. But nope, not playing guitar much anymore.
No?
That's where I am now. No, I mean, I still have some muscle memory and I can kind of improv along scales and stuff, but it's nothing too great.
And you've got music in you. Right?
Yeah. I've really got the music in me. No music theory.
Yeah.
I do a music channel and I produce some electronic tracks that are just based on what sounds good to me, not any actual like backing to them with music theory.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I went to school for. I also dropped out of college.
Nice.
So yeah, it's the.
I mean, don't stay in school. Stay in school.
Listen to him. Don't listen to me. I was going to say the opposite. Wait before you go to school. How about that? Is that we're going to just say that real quick. My philosophy. I'm going to raise my kids, and everybody can raise their kids the way that they want. My philosophy is maybe wait a year or two before going to college. Figure out who you are as an adult, and then go to college if you want to, but stay in school through high school. Anyway, I went to school for music theory, for vocal performance. And I was terrible at music theory. I hated it. I ended it and I dropped out. I switched over to computer science, but I dropped out because I just couldn't do it. And I started listening to music just in the car driving around, and every song
and
I was
Revenge
starting to
came on, and I was like,
I was just starting to analyze all the music all the time, and it just made it not enjoyable anymore. So I had to switch.
I kind of do that too with electronic music.
Yeah.
I'll start to, because of producing it even to my mediocre level, I start evaluating it more than I just listen to it sometimes.
Yep.
And I have to try to pull myself back from that and be like, stop.
Yep.
Just enjoy it.
Yep. Totally. Do you do that same sort of thing with YouTube? Like videos?
I don't really watch YouTube much.
Yeah.
So no, not really.
It's tough.
Hey, that reminds me of some. Oh, I guess you would have your own editor and all that. I've been putting out some videos. I haven't done videos in a long time, and I've been watching them to make sure I don't make a mistake before I upload it. I bet you stopped doing that a long time ago. You did.
Not because I want to not watch them back. It's because it's especially when the videos end up being like half an hour to an hour long. It's like actually very hard to fit that in. So the videos that I primarily watch back are the ones that are edited by, he goes by Mionite Purge Highlights on YouTube, and he does the editing for my vlog channel and occasionally videos on the main channel.
Cool.
And I will watch those back usually because generally they're a bit shorter, and also because he adds a little bit more pizzazz and flair, and he has his own editing voice, is what I would say.
Yeah.
And so I actually enjoy seeing like what he did with those.
Yeah.
So those ones I usually watch back, but otherwise, the way I record is I just usually start and stop the recording based on if interesting things are happening. So if I am getting to a point where I know it's just going to be tedious mining for like 30 minutes, I just stop it, and then I'll resume once I'm done with that, so that I can just avoid having to make a bunch of notes in the edit. And it's more so like most of the footage that goes to Nick, who's the main editor, is usable.
Now hold on a second. You're actually taking the time to do mining and grindy work. You're actually playing through survival.
Yes, I try to be legitimate
with
what I'm doing.
That
I don't. Okay. Every now and again, I do have to let people know and come clean that I do have a basement of clones, and so when I need really tedious stuff done, I'll kind of pass it off to them. But it's still me, right?
Yeah.
To an extent.
Yeah.
I got it for you, because because I'm good with command blocks. I could make you like any stone generator command block thing, and then if everybody says, "Oh, you cheated," you're like, "No, Q-Magnet, he cheated. He just offered it to me."
That's it.
And it gets you off the blame, right?
Pass the
We'll
buck.
work it out after this.
Oh, Jordan is Jordan. I don't think I could be wrong, but Jordan does not seem like the type of guy to pass the buck. He's
No, I'm just gonna die. I'm gonna die for him. Like I'll take
it has always like interested me, the idea that I do wonder if there are other YouTubers who like maybe employ someone to progress in between episodes or anything like that, like actually get onto their account or share the save file and make progress and then pass it back.
Yeah.
I'm curious.
Yeah.
I bet someone does it, and it probably saves a lot of time, and I bet it makes the series way better than me with my stupid rectangular prism houses that are like 3 blocks tall and 5 blocks wide.
Yeah. Yeah. No, there's got to be. I've not heard of that. I've not heard of the colognes thing. That's hilarious. But yeah, there's somebody is out there, and I bet there's the people who are doing that love it too. Like they love knowing that they're, oh yeah, I'll mine for 6 hours for you for $5. Yeah, that sounds great.
Dude, they'll make an amazing house.
Yeah.
And send the save file back, and then it saved so much time, and the end result is better, and it makes for a better video product at the end of the day, probably.
Yep.
So
if the next video Jordan goes, "Oh yeah, that house I made. Oh yeah. Oh, it does look interesting. Oh yeah, I remember doing that." Then he's got somebody in the basement there.
There's a meme that I've seen repeatedly on like Minecraft related subreddits of, so I did some mining off camera, and then it's a chest that's just filled to the brim with diamond blocks.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Man,
Oh,
I know that one of the things that I've tried to do more of lately, because I'm trying to get better at building, because I'm terrible at it. I just can't do it. But one of the things I'm trying to do is more creative builds off camera. You know, like go into a creative world and build something beforehand and then try to replicate it in survival. But that just takes too much time for me. Like I'm just like, why am I going to build this twice? I don't want to do that.
That's what I have to do sometimes for live stream server stuff, is if there's going to be some kind of redstone related build, like I just did it the other week for a vault mechanism. I had to build it kind of in single player and then take it over to survival and multiplayer so that I wasn't just fumbling around for like 10 hours wondering what to do.
So you look like a pro, is what you're saying.
Yeah, more or less.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
I want to go back in time here. So I'm going to ask you something I'm hoping no one's asked you, at least not a long time, okay? This is me digging out. Because as a map maker, and very much appreciate you playing the diversity maps, I saw a little series way back, almost beginning of the Captain Sparklez channel, about let's build an adventure map.
Oh, yeah.
Went to like episode 9, I think. And you also did Deep Space. Well, you were involved in Deep Space.
That's not also, that was that.
That?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that was one of those situations where, and I think I explained this in the video, I got to the point where I was like, you know what? If I'm actually going to compete with the people who are good at this, a.k.a. you, although this might have been slightly before your time.
It was way before my time.
Yeah. But still, equivalent sorts of things. I'm not going to be able to do this solo. Sure, I might be able to make some puzzles and stuff. For it to actually look nice, I need help. And so I guess this does bring it back to one of the, wouldn't it be nice if you had another person or group of people able to kind of take over things in between episodes? Except this wasn't one where I was trying to pass it off as if I was doing everything. It was just that I had been on the VoxelBox server, and I became acquainted with some of those guys, and I was like, hey, they're really good at building things. Wonder if they'd be interested in kind of joint venturing this adventure map. And that's how that worked out.
The reason I was kind of pointing at that is I was wondering if, obviously your music videos kind of like pushed you in a certain direction, and now you have a good following and you're an entertainer and all that. But was there a point where you were sticking a little bit closer to making an adventure map and maybe going along that route, or just kind of open to everything?
No, I was never going to be like YouTube secondary and adventure map making as my main thing. It was more so that I played a bunch of adventure maps and I was like, oh, you know what? I feel like I could set up a similar sort of puzzly escape kind of situation. And that was the idea. And I thought it would make for some interesting videos until I was like, this is going to require far too much more than I'm capable of in terms of building.
Yeah.
They're tough. They're very tough.
Yeah, especially if you want it to be a good one. Now, most of the really, really talented people have moved over to Bedrock, so it's hard to find things like diversity, quality. Well, diversity is kind of the top of its class, but anything that has that much invested in it, there used to be more of them prior to the Bedrock marketplace. Yeah. Now it's sort of moved over there.
Well, that's just an interesting thought, because a few years ago you did an interview, I think, with VidCon or something, I believe, and you said that Minecraft is like a game engine, right? It's not just a game, it's a game engine. And we see today, I feel like a lot more teams and a lot more creators are really seeing it in that way as a game engine, because the maps today are even the ones that don't get a lot of sales or a lot of downloads, even those are way beyond what, 8 years ago, 7 years ago, the maps were like, right? Like maps today have storylines and voice actors and custom models and like all types of crazy stuff that's going on that really, to me, amplifies that idea that it's a game engine, right? I don't even know. I've thought about doing some maps before. I don't even know where I would begin today in order to just break in, just to even like have any kind of a chance. It's like YouTube, right? Like the quality is all so much higher. Would you
the bar is set very high.
Yeah, it's crazy. Would you even, like, if you had a really great idea, a phenomenal idea today of making an adventure map, would you even want to try to do that? Is that something you'd want to do?
I mean, admittedly, I'd probably try. I've been planning out Bedrock content myself, but the initial ideas aren't so much like adventure maps that are scripted, story-driven things.
Yeah.
They'd more so be taking some of like the Fallen Kingdom assets and putting them on the Bedrock marketplace. So
yeah.
But that said, if I had a great idea, I think I would be open to it, but I would probably go the Bedrock route, which is why I can't blame the fact that so many of the talented people have moved over there. Look, if you have an opportunity to monetize something you were previously doing for free, you're going to do that. There's no reason not to. And so that's probably the way I would go, despite the fact that, look, obviously there are most of the people who watch my content, they're Java players.
Yeah.
And so I know that I would feel like I'm probably leaving some of them out to an extent. And that's part of the reason I'd be a little bit iffy on it. And also part of the reason why the Bedrock topic actually is something that came up to me first. And I was planning how would I approach that prior to, I mentioned before we started here, and this isn't me trying to plug something, it just is coming up naturally.
Yeah.
This server that I'm working on that's Fallen Kingdom related, it's a Java server. And the reason that came to be is because I wanted there to be some parity between Bedrock and Java, because I have a history on Java, and I want there not to just be, hey guys, I know you've watched me play Java forever. Here's some Bedrock content for you in case you're interested.
Yeah.
Also, if you play Java, here's this unique thing that you can play as well. So that's the way I would do it. And so that it would make me, I don't know, feel kind of weird if there was just something that I put up on Bedrock rather than having something equivalent on Java. And so that would kind of, I don't know how I'd approach it.
No, sure.
There
it's
is
complex.
Our Blockworks, and I think did some builds for Mionite and all that stuff, but they did a 10-year map and released it on both with working mechanics, which is pretty insane because I'm just starting to try and figure out Bedrock commands, and it's overwhelming for me, and I have a lot of Java in there, so I don't know how. That's pretty difficult to balance both, but I wondered if, like, you're very invested in Minecraft, obviously, but you're sticking to Java, even though, like, I've got kids who play Minecraft. It's all about Bedrock.
Yeah.
Are you don't like the program? That's not the right word. You feel more comfortable with Java. You're not embracing as much. I know you've done some videos on Bedrock, but
It's what I've always played, so I guess I'm more used to it, and I'm more used to the more open environment with adding mods and things like that. Honestly, I just don't know how Bedrock works to a certain extent. It feels more like I boot up a Call of Duty and I play a Call of Duty. I don't know anything about where the file directory is for Call of Duty or anything like that to be able to tinker with it. Whereas with Java, I know where everything is. I know where the assets are. And I guess it feels more comfortable in that regard. That said, Microsoft would never say this outright, but I can't help but feel they probably are not big fans of Java still existing and having a big player base. I'm sure they would prefer everybody just go over to Bedrock so that it's less for them to have to maintain. They can get everyone on the Bedrock marketplace, and it's C++. It's far more efficient. The game, when I first looked at the settings menu on Bedrock and saw that the chunk load settings are like start at 64 and go up to like 256, like, whoa. All right. And then you go up high and you watch as you increase it and it just loads.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I know it's a better platform, but look, there's also most of the YouTubers out there who far more of them are getting way more views than I've ever gotten now. It seems like most are also still playing on Java. So it kind of has that YouTube backing to it still. And a lot of the content that's made by the community is still made for Java, at least the casual stuff that's posted on different websites, map making sites, things like that. Whereas Java or Bedrock is more about the marketplace for user generated content.
Well, and you also have servers. I mean, on Bedrock, there are servers. You can run a server. The dedicated server software is pretty terrible. There's no like admin controls. You can't, there's not even any logs, like player logs. So you can't see like the chat logs or when people log in and log out. It's kind of rough. But also the partner list, right? You have the partnered Bedrock partnered servers. And a lot of people, when they join in on Bedrock, they want to go to a multiplayer server. They just click on one of those. Whereas on Java, the server, the ecosystem, if you will, the niche industry, I don't know what you would call it, but this community of server owners is a lot healthier for people, for all types of different servers to have and build a community. You can have, so many different servers with a few thousand players, or Hypixel, or the competition servers and all that. And that's interesting to look at is to say like, the servers, I don't know if servers will really do well on the Bedrock side.
Right. Yeah, I don't know how, or if I even could set up, like I have a Twitch subscriber, YouTube member server. Yeah. And it's Java. I don't even know how it would be set up on Bedrock, what sort of customization would be present, what sort of plugins for griefing protection and moderation, things like that. So it is more straightforward to do that sort of thing when it's on Java.
Yeah. Hey, speaking of servers, MC Championship. I was watching you yesterday. I was hoping that you would win so we could talk about that. But
we tried.
The hole in the wall.
I'm still number one in Battle Blocks round wins. Okay.
You kept your title.
One claim to fame.
They did not. They did not let you down. Your team members didn't.
I was worried. I was worried as we were losing a few rounds in there that I might not still have number one. But I was as much to blame for any losses as anyone else.
And the hole in the wall was rough. I was feeling your space bar wasn't working. It's the problem.
Usually you can spam spacebar if you get caught out and it'll kind of save you. Wasn't working this time. I don't know if they changed something or if I just was getting unlucky. Either way.
Man.
Slime blocks.
Sun in my eyes.
Slime blocks. Mojang, can we make it so if you hit any part of a slime block, please make me bounce, if I'm doing like parkour or something like that. But also, I don't know how they'll fix the like springing back from a piston, but make that not happen.
Dude, I was watching you. You landed like right on the edge of the slime block. And I was like, just hit the center. Come on, Jordan, hit the center of the slime block.
It's a very, very small little zone that you can hit where it actually has the intended behavior.
Yep. All right, we'll go with that. What's that like though with the MC Championship? I've been really curious to know how is that? How does that run? You might not be able to share too much, but it's just so cool to me to see all of these different content creators all come together with a phenomenal team, Nox Crew backing it up. They were actually our first guests on the podcast, so like shout out to them. And it looks like just a ton of fun. But what's that like? Just like being involved in that, getting organized. Are all of the streamers and YouTubers meeting together beforehand? Like,
there's just a Discord. And you remind me now, actually, I probably need to fill out the doc for the next one so that I'm involved. Because I forgot that once and almost, yes, there it is. Let me at least bring that page up in my browser.
Don't forget. There you go.
I forgot once and I had to go on as an alternate. Fortunately, I was able to be put on, but would have been real embarrassing if I missed that again.
If you win next week.
It's just a Discord.
If you win next week?
Next month.
Next month. Wait. That's what I meant.
I actually probably can't give the exact date, but I don't know when it'll be in relation to when this goes up.
Okay, well, I don't know. This month, next month. Whatever.
Now.
Whenever we release it.
They watched this video right after they watched. It just happened.
Yeah, maybe it's in the past now.
Yeah. Who knows? We can cut it if we need to. But whenever you do that, if you win, I need you to show some love over here because we reminded you.
Ooh.
You wouldn't.
I'll split some of my $1 million prize.
There we go.
They don't tell you that. Everyone wins $1 million if you get first place. Crazy. Wow. That's why everyone wants to participate.
Wow. That'll go on.
It's very fun though. Nox Crew, the best Minecraft tournament that anyone has ever put on by far. And I'm not surprised by that because they are Nox Crew.
Yeah.
But it's very fun and runs remarkably smoothly. And they keep doing little changes each month, tweaks to game modes, adding new game modes. So I really hope it continues for a long time.
Yeah.
And I hope that they're able to justify it by maybe it bringing additional attention to their Bedrock builds and them kind of just being able to repurpose their Bedrock stuff so that they can just throw it into this and it not be hugely taxing on their infrastructure. Please, Nox Crew, keep doing it. Please.
Yeah.
And we will all keep playing in it.
And I'll keep watching it because it's very entertaining. It's a really good time.
It's great.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the technical aspect of music videos. Okay. Your first one would be TNT, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which was quite a bit different than a fully animated
low
Revenge.
Tech AF.
But you still did. You had the creeper moving like this.
I did, but I'll tell you how I did the animations for that, and it is so low tech.
I want to know the secrets.
It's the secrets. Secrets are I captured the Minecraft footage.
Yeah.
And I then simply eyeballed what the camera angle should be on the mob. And I just it was done in Blender with like this basic pack of Minecraft rigs.
Yeah.
And it was really quick to render, fortunately. Like I could render a 10-second segment because it was just the mob with a light on it. And probably took, 15 seconds to render like a 10-second thing. And so I'd kind of line it up. Then I'd render it out, put it on top of the Minecraft footage in Premiere or Vegas, whatever I was using. And nope, that didn't work. Go back in, adjust the camera angle slightly, re-render, slap it on again. Okay, that angle looks right. So I didn't even bring the footage into the backdrop of Blender. I just trial and errored it. And I was like, you know what? It's fine. It works.
It works.
Nobody knew anything otherwise.
That's hilarious.
So I was gonna ask you about that sort of thing. Like, where did you just jump into that? I know you had some computer science and I don't know if chemistry works for that, but you just kind of like pick it up out of nothing.
Yeah.
How did you? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I looked at a couple of YouTube tutorials, but it was pretty limited. I have this really stubborn mentality where I almost like to see if I can figure something out myself before watching a YouTube video, which makes it way slower than if I just look at the tutorial. But I did that, and then eventually a mix of just me being stubborn and watching videos, just figured out how to do the keyframing and setting a camera and rendering. And that was that. Then it required a little bit more instruction when it came to Maya for Revenge, because that was actually like doing more significant amounts of animation and more complex animation. Not very complex by the standards of any actual professional production. That's why Minecraft, I think, is such a widely used and good medium for animation, is because it's so simple. It really gets people into the door of figuring out the basics of it, and then they can move on to doing more complex stuff. Like Slamacow is a really good example of him starting off with Minecraft, getting really good at animating with it, and then actually moving on to doing his own original 3D animations and productions. So I think that's why it's so popular, is because of its accessibility. And obviously big credit goes out to Bootstrap Buckaroo, because he was essentially like a mentor in instructing me on how to do things. And then after Revenge, he became more involved in the actual animation of things until in the, Find the Pieces and Dragonhearted, where I just couldn't keep up with the quality and doing any of the animation myself anymore. And that's when it became fully on him and Slamacow and Mama's Boy and some others.
It's funny having like all these workers who are like these weird Minecraft names. We just hired this very professional guy named Mama's Boy.
I know. I know. I always feel weird saying his name specifically.
Yeah.
But he still goes by it.
It's almost as weird as Captain Sparklez.
Yes.
But I go by Jordan. There's other instances where it's like you're in that stage of kind of wanting to still maintain some anonymity while also being called something on the internet. So you like, even though you might know somebody's full name because you have to pay them, like they don't necessarily want the internet to know it. So you're like, well, Mama's Boy.
That's right.
Well, you know, that whole topic about the animating and all that. Now, first of all, I just want to say, I have to confess that I have perceived you in a certain way. And the way that I have perceived you is that you are a phenomenal manager of people, because you've had, I know, at least 9 channels over the last decade. You might have had even more. You got SoundCloud. You've
I think that's 9. I think it's 9. Yeah.
9? Yeah.
If you include my first channel, it's 9.
Okay. I mean, that's a lot of channels. And currently right now you have multiple channels at the same time. You have SoundCloud. Yes. You're doing music. You did story mode. Q has a book that you're credited in, sitting right behind him on the shelf. You've done so many things. I know that you've met with like all types of cool people, done a bunch of events. And so in my mind, I'm like, okay, Captain Sparklez is a great manager of people.
He invented a time machine. That's how he did it.
He has clones.
I
he
wish.
knows how to go back and...
That'd be a lifesaver.
Because he can't possibly be doing all of these things himself. Okay. But you are. Like, you've done the animation yourself. And maybe you're not doing it today or in the last couple of videos, but you did those things yourself the first few goes. Is that right? Like, you've tried or you've done everything yourself at some point. You haven't just hired other people to do it for you from the start?
Yeah. And I'm even to this day, I like to maintain low overhead.
Yeah.
Partially for a couple reasons. One, it's just hard for me to give up control even when it might be more efficient to do so. And the other reason being that when things do change, which they can do very quickly online, if you have a bunch of people who then all of a sudden have to be retasked, Do you let them go? Do you figure out a new role for them? And I know friends who have taken the other side of things, and they hire lots and lots of people. As soon as they identify a need, boom, we hire someone. And they have had to make adjustments on several occasions because things have changed. YouTube has decided to start prioritizing one type of content over another. And I like to be nimble, and also I'm afraid of commitment. And the more overhead you have, the more mouths you feel responsible for feeding. And I'm scared of that.
Yeah. I mean, I don't blame you at all. I have gotten to this point now myself where I'm very much like, if I have to rely on other people to do it, I don't know if I want to do it. Like I've got to be able to do it myself if I can. But I mean, like that's still an amazing thing that you do all of this stuff. What is the secret? And you have a home gym and you work out. And I'm like, I can't even spend 5 minutes, like how do you find time to do all of this stuff?
I mean, the secret is that I don't have a family. I don't have a wife, and those definitely save a whole bunch of time.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's what everyone says once they get a family is like, okay, that's where my time is sunk into now. So I guess I have identified that I'm selfish enough to know that I'm not going to ever want to have a family. And I think it's better to accept that than to decide that you want to have a family just because society kind of points you in that direction. And then all of a sudden you get into that and you're not very happy about it.
Sure.
And you're wishing that you hadn't done it, but you have to stick to it because, I mean,
it's a family.
You've gone in.
Yep.
Sunk cost fallacy.
Yep.
That said, I'm sure there are some great rewards and great feelings and moments that you get that I will never end up experiencing in my life as a result of that decision. But I think it's better that I'm self-aware enough to know that I don't want to go that route. And therefore I have the time to invest into doing things like this. Now, maybe I'm going to get to age 50 and be like, wow, that was a mistake. I really wish that I had people around me, but that's the way that I envision myself going. People are like, wow, this guy is really lonely when he's older, but hey, I'm happy with what I'm doing right now. And as such, I can dedicate a lot of time each day to working on YouTube videos, streaming on Twitch, managing different projects, making sure that I still get a workout in, and just focusing mostly on myself without anyone else having to be at the expense of that.
Yeah. Hey,
I think that's probably, I was going to say my favorite, well, my former favorite, because now he does boring music, but my favorite former artist, he said kind of the same thing. He basically said, I'm not going to pursue a relationship. I'm going to pursue my career. And he was able to make really, really great songs and all this stuff. But it was a really similar thing to what you're saying. But now he's married, so maybe you'll get there.
How are
we shall see.
How's your calf?
Turned his back on his songs, man.
What were you saying?
How's your calves workout going?
I try to work in some calf raises after or in between my squat sets now because I know they need to be worked on. But also, calves are far more genetic based than many other muscle groups because you walk. Like people walk, and walking at the end of the day, that's kind of the best calf workout there is. And so if after you do normal walking, your calves are not there at the size you want, it's very unlikely that calf raises are going to make a great deal of difference. You just kind of are where you are.
I'm gonna ask your bald bearded friend, whom I need to get tips from because he's got an awesome epic beard. If it's just
so what do you want me to ask Dustin? I'll ask him when he's next over.
Is it just genetic? Well, for the beard, that's what I really want to know. I can't get this thing to grow out, man. Like it goes to like right here. I'm jealous of it.
That's pretty genetic.
Yeah, that also
is this the new Jordan? Like you are a personal trainer guy. I was watching some of those videos and you're like, you're gonna, just don't put as much food in your mouth. And I'm like, that's my favorite part.
Well, that's the thing though, is when it comes to people asking what's the best way to lose weight, it is that simple.
Yeah.
And I have to say this every time, barring very uncommon medical issues, simply putting less food in your mouth is the easiest way. Far easier than exercising because of the small amount that you have to put in your mouth for it to be an extra 500 calories in your day. It's like the cookie that I just had before I came on here. Yeah. I would have to work out. I'd have to run for an hour in order to burn off that cookie.
Yeah.
So best way to do it, just don't eat the cookie.
Just don't eat the cookie. It's real hard for me, man. That's real hard.
It's really hard for me too. That's why I work out, to kind of offset that so that I can eat tasty things. Yeah. It's less like the combination of working out and not eating, and more so working out so that I can have that cookie and not feel quite as badly about it.
Yeah. Man,
I just feel bad now after watching your video at myself. Because I ate 2 cookies.
Dang.
I want that, dude. Maybe I'll have another.
It's 2 hours of running.
It really is.
It's not going to happen.
I don't run, so I burn less calories. But when you do weightlifting, it has a more lingering calorie burning effect to it as opposed to aerobics. So aerobics, you might burn more while you're doing it. But weightlifting, like, it'll carry on for a few hours after and give you a little afterburn.
So I'm gonna just mention a little thing. I've got a project that I want to work on, and I'm not going to talk about it, but I got a project I want to work on that's a live action.
I was going to say I'm not going to talk about it.
But here's my thing, okay, Jordan. I want to do it myself, but this character that I want to portray, it has to be ripped. I'm talking your arms, your 6-pack. You got a 6-pack, I think. Or you had one. I don't know.
Depends on the lighting, really.
And if you put the makeup, the shadow, the foundation, all that.
We actually tried to do that for a video once. It really didn't work well. The Zac Efron makeup kind of thing. Nice. You really need, there's got to be someone out there who is like the person for ab makeup. Like, that is their specialty.
Yeah.
We didn't have them.
Yeah. Also, okay, so I feel like I got to do this. But I am a couch potato. I'm out of shape. I used to do a lot of weight training. I used to run 6 miles, like a day. That was my life, but I am way out of shape now. What if you're telling me right now, I have 1 year to not get ripped, but at least be in shape for this video? What's the first thing that I should be doing? Plenty of time?
Oh my God. Yeah. 1 year. Easy. I thought you were going to be like 1 week or something.
I was going
to be like, that's going to be a tough one.
A year.
1 year. Oh, dude, you could be absolutely jacked in a year. No problem.
Well, let's go.
And it wouldn't even be that crazy to accomplish. Yeah, I mean, one is, it actually depends, like, who you are and where you're starting at. If you're looking to gain weight, because there are a lot of people who are just skinny.
Yeah.
And they don't eat a lot and they don't have a lot of muscle. So they actually have to eat more. On the other hand, if you're looking to lose weight but gain muscle, you're going to take a slightly different approach. So ultimately, ideally, the combination is diet and exercise and taking a specific approach there. I don't know how tall you are. I don't know how much you weigh, how much you're looking to weigh. Yeah. How tall are you?
5'6" and a half.
Okay. Okay, so in that case, we're very, very similar there in what our objectives would be. So you would probably be looking to get around 155 to 165 pounds. Yep. That would be your ideal.
Gotta drop down there.
And so you'd want to be eating around, to start, just so you kind of kickstart the weight loss, maybe 2,000 calories a day while also working out. And you don't really need to lift super heavy weights as long as you're burning the calories from the workout. Then over time, you kind of work up the weights a little bit more. That's going to give you a little bit more muscle definition. Then you can kind of kick up the calories to maybe 2,500 a day because you're going to be burning more while lifting a little bit heavier. So if you kind of ended up 6 months in at an hour-long weight training session each day, and you could give yourself one break day, but try to at least do some kind of exercise, maybe going for a walk or something like that. And then 2,500 calories a day, you'd be doing pretty well at the end of 1 year.
Well, if Minecraft ever crashes, this is your job. You're the personal trainer, YouTuber. All you gotta do is just go on bacon and Diet Coke for a year, and you will be fit.
Your poops might really not be good,
No.
but You would. I mean, hey, you can eat ice cream. You could eat a pint of ice cream every day. You'd lose a ton of weight. You'd just probably not be enjoying yourself for very long.
I accept your advice.
Right.
I'm gonna do it, and I'll give you credit. I'm gonna send you a picture of my.
I want to see it.
My ripped
Just take a marker and put the wet ink on a barbecue grill, and then stick it to your.
There we
Take it
go.
off. You get the marks.
You know, I do want to say though, it might be confirmation bias just because I pay more attention to it since I began exercising more regularly myself. But I do feel like from the posts I see on social media and YouTube videos of other gaming YouTubers, there have been a lot more getting more into fitness in the past 3-4 years than I think before that. So it seems like there's a positive trend in that direction.
Well, I mean, part of it, because I feel like garbage. I genuinely, a lot of days I wake up and I'm just like, man, I feel like garbage. And I remember from back in my healthier days, I felt so much better. My head was clearer. I could focus better. I was more creative. I was quicker with my thinking, everything. So, that's got to be part of it too, is, you just feel better and it helps you to be productive for the rest of the day.
Yeah, I think so. I often have so many things on. I have other psychological, like being so busy that I think about everything else that I have to be doing, and that negatively impacts the thing I'm trying to focus on at the time. So I have other things that I need to work on aside from just the physical aspect. But since it's such a gradual change, it's very hard to identify that for sure. Because when I was at probably my least physically healthy state about 5-6 years ago, I don't remember too much the difference in mentality and my energy levels, because it's been 5-6 years of kind of slowly getting to where I am now. So hard to give a direct comparison.
Yeah. Well, hey, we've got a few minutes before we get on to some other segments.
Two things I definitely want to. I was very curious about. Okay.
And I had one last question, but you go ahead. Q, hit him with one.
All right. I definitely want to talk about revenge, but the resurgence of revenge, how that happened.
Yeah.
And also, before you were coming on, I said to my daughter, "You guys heard of Captain Sparklez? He's going to come on my talk show thing." And my daughter said, "Yeah, he's from that one episode of Story Mode. That's how she knows you." So I was curious about, that's how wide your range goes, but I was curious about how Story Mode came around for you. So those two things is what I was wondering about.
Yeah.
I just got an email from Lydia from Mojang. When was that? 3-4 years ago, saying, "Hey, we're doing an episode of Minecraft Story Mode that's going to have some YouTubers. Would you be interested?" I was like, "Sure, that sounds great." Okay, you're going to do some dialogue at a recording studio nearby. Okay, sounds cool. And that was that.
You're
more
a
or
yes
less.
man.
It was very quick and easy. I think it was, I can't remember if it was 1 or 2 sessions. But super simple.
Is that like the you'd done voice acting before? Like
I don't see. It's so funny. I don't really consider it being a voice actor because I was being me.
Yeah.
So I wasn't really acting. Although when you talk to actors, they'll be, "Oh, it's the most difficult thing to act is yourself."
Yeah.
So because you're like
in a
second
booth or
guessing
something,
what
probably.
you are.
Yeah.
I was in a sound booth nearby.
Yeah.
And just, I don't know, tried reading off the lines, and that was that. Now people are like, "Oh, you do voice acting." Sure, if that's what you consider voice acting, I suppose so. I've gone to a studio and recorded my voice.
Well, listen, you are officially, what's the number here? 16,872nd trending voice actor this week on BehindTheVoiceActors.com.
I didn't even know that many voice actors existed in the world.
No, don't. That's just the number that you are.
Yeah, okay.
So, and then of course Revenge, which seems to have resurged right at the perfect time.
Hard.
I believe you said it got more now than when it first came out.
It got in between like middle of July and middle of August of last year. It was more views that month than the first month that it was out, which was really weird. It's it's gone back to normalcy now, but it was an interesting couple of months there. And you're going to ask, how did that happen?
How did that happen?
Still don't know. Still don't know. Something happened, and then somebody made like the Discord lyric meme, and that kind of picked up on Twitter. But something had to, I don't know why they chose that.
Yeah.
Why did they choose an 8-year-old Minecraft music video at that time to do a Discord lyric thing? That's what I don't know. There had to be something else, and I don't know what that was.
I saw
still a mystery.
I saw on Twitter Grande like constantly every day putting a new line from that song, and that's like
he did every individual word,
maybe he
backwards so that you can read it all the way through.
Oh man.
I know I only said 2, but I just was going to ask you, Minecraft style, you had to delete the original video, right?
That was weird. It's like they accidentally blocked it instead of just doing a claim on it.
Yeah.
Which is what they did for every other video at that time, is they just put a claim on it and it could still be viewable. They were just monetizing it. It was some weird thing where they decided we're going to block it in the US and Canada and some other English-speaking territories, but it's viewable in most other non-English-speaking countries. And I even talked to the people at YouTube. They're like, yeah, they don't really do that often. And it was so weird because there are like other videos of Psy actually watching parody videos of Gangnam Style, being like, I like this. This is great. Yeah. But for some reason, obviously Psy himself had nothing to do with it. Once you get to those major pop acts, it's just all publishers and record labels handling all that stuff. And so it was a weird thing. But
I didn't mean to like push your buttons, but I was just wondering, would that be the #1 video? You re-uploaded it, I thought.
I did, yeah.
Would that be bigger than Revenge if it had kept the views?
Very hard to know because I don't know where the long-term trajectory is. Revenge also having the resurgence. Yeah. But that, of any video I've ever posted, got the most views in the first month. I think it was over 40 million.
Wow.
And I've never had anything do that before or since. That was my peak. Mm-hmm. Although I did get the most viewership in a month ever when Revenge resurged. And that was my peak in terms of monthly viewership, and it will always be lower than that from this point forward. But
self-awareness.
I do not expect to ever be competing with the big numbers that you see nowadays. But I had my moments of glory, or a couple moments of glory.
Yeah. Well, okay. So I had one last question myself before we jump over into our other segments. This has been really interesting to me, and I'm so glad to have the opportunity to ask you here, because you live in LA. Your mom worked in TV. Is that right? When you were
long time ago, she did some TV stuff. Yeah.
You've met directors. I know that was going to do the Minecraft movie. I've watched a lot of your videos, man. I've been learning a lot about you this week. I'm not a creeper stalker, I swear.
Yes, I had my worst, most awkward lunch meeting introduction with Rob from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, who was going to be writing and directing Minecraft movie. Yep. I'm mortified at myself for that one, but
I'm so sorry.
Anyway,
well, so
just couldn't figure out where the restaurant was.
Oh no!
For like half an hour.
Yeah.
Well, so I have a friend, a family that I mentioned them earlier. They're in the movie scene, and I talked to them not too long ago, a few months ago, and I was asking them like, hey, I'm out of my league. I'm out of my league talking with some of these YouTubers or creators or Microsoft employees or whoever who are just like phenomenal. And I don't want to come across in the wrong way or anything. And I was just asking for some general advice. I'm just a little dude, like I'm just a normal guy. And but I built this friendship with them over the years. So I thought, I'd like some advice about that. And she told me, the mom, she said, YouTube is completely different. She said, I don't have the first clue what that industry is like. I don't know anything about that. Even though, her family, they have done some really big things. She was like, I could not know where to start giving you advice Has being in LA and, you know, having at least some small interactions with, you know, movie actors and things of that sort, has that influenced you at all? Or do you really see those as well, like she does, as being fairly separate and very, very different industries, and the celebrities are very different? Or is there a lot of tie over between those?
In terms of social circles and things like that, not really. But look, I'm very detached from most things. Spend most of my day at home, and that was even before The Crown.
Yeah.
Before The Crown, it was like I go to the gym once a day, and that's basically it as far as going out. So I'd be a bad person to ask that, but it's more from my observations when it comes to, you get to the higher tiers of like the vloggers and things like that, you might get a little bit more crossover and kind of ending up in the same spaces at the same events, meeting traditional media people.
Yeah.
And there's more crossover because so many people in traditional media see the value in having a YouTube channel. And so they're making their own. And it's very different from when YouTube first started picking up. It's like, let's use this as a platform in order to break into traditional media. If I get big enough on YouTube, then such and such studio is going to want to hire me and work with me. Now it's like the opposite, where people who work in traditional are like, well, I can own this and I can do what I want and have creative freedom. Yeah, I'm going to do that instead. That sounds great. Or at least do it in conjunction.
Yeah.
So more and more, I think the two blend together, but I'm a bad person to talk to about that because I don't really go to the sorts of in-person things where you would get that crossover. So the only instances of that would be me going to like some kind of car events where someone is there who coincidentally is someone in traditional media,
like Jay Leno, you know.
Yeah, sure, something like that. Oh, but it's like Jay Leno doesn't. He's not going to care at all about talking about his talk show, hosting history, or anything like that in a car setting. Like all he's going to discuss are cars and his enjoyment of them. There's not going to be any like business advice or talking about his career in the past. It just doesn't come up. And so that is almost when I've met people outside of like my YouTube network saying, hey, we have a brand deal or something, or someone bringing me a brand deal where there happens to be another celebrity. I haven't really worked with celebrities on brand deals that much, but that would be the only instance where it might really happen in a professional setting.
Sure.
And outside of that, it would be more of a casual encounter that doesn't really amount to much other than like talking about a car or something.
Yeah, gotcha. Oh, I mean,
that's the most what? I was going to say, who's the most famous person you've had a little car conversation with or whatever? The hot dog conversation.
I don't even know. I mean, probably Jay Leno. He's someone who immediately comes to mind. That's a pretty hard one to outclass, I suppose.
Yeah. But before, when we were talking about the questions, I think Stifler just basically want to say, if I move to LA, can we get the podcast like super popular and mingle with everybody? Is that the secret?
No.
That's what he's really trying to ask.
No.
I always tell people who are thinking about doing the LA move, I'm like, it's not going to really change anything business-wise for you. The internet is so interconnected in its name. It kind of tells you that. And you can do the gaming stuff or the podcasting stuff from anywhere in the world. The only reason that I am here is because I grew up in Southern California. I can see the hospital in which I was born from my house. If I look out the window right now, my family is all based around here. If that was not the case, I would not be here. It's very expensive. And yes, the weather is great. You can go for drives. There's great roads. You don't have to worry about changing your tires in the winter, bundling up when you go outside. So it has those perks, but there are people who are under the illusion that all I have to do is move to LA and then everything is going to come together. And that is super not the case. And I would really think twice. If you have friends in LA who you're really excited to be in closer contact to, or you have family, okay, maybe, but it's not the end all be all that's going to really make your life all come together. So I would highly, highly discourage it if you don't have a concrete offer of something that requires you to be here.
Well, and that goes back to what you were saying too, right? Especially with YouTube. Like I know in like the Hollywood circles and stuff, there's so much more going on that you want to be really well connected, and with your networking game, it's got to be on point. That's like part of the job. I know that that's true with YouTube too, but like you said, you own your channel. You can basically just stay at home and work and do phenomenal work from home, and you don't have to go and have those social events, do that networking in the same way. So probably not as useful for the YouTube side, at least. And Hollywood is never a sure bet anyway. I'm not planning on being an actor. Anyway.
I have fantasies all the time, daydreaming about what if I just picked everything up, sold everything here, and I just moved to
Canada.
A small town in Sweden or something,
right,
and just had this beautiful little apartment looking over a beautiful old European town with a nice frozen lake in the winter. And I have fantasies about that, and I'm like, I romanticize it for sure, and there are going to be parts of that about that where I'm like, sorry,
you're fine.
Gosh dang it, I don't want to bundle up again just to walk and get a frappuccino at the store.
Yeah.
Okay, I just want to be able to walk over there in my t-shirt and shorts, and I can't do that.
Yeah.
I can't take a car out because it's negative 50 degrees outside.
Yeah.
So there are definitely parts of that would be inconvenient, but I romanticize it. I'm like, wouldn't that be just nice and simple? I wouldn't have to worry about anything other than streaming, and that would be it.
That don't necessarily have snow. You seem to have this really irritating hatred for snow.
So I've only ever been to one place with snow when the intent wasn't to go snowboarding, and that was Toronto, to see one of my cars as it was being built.
Okay.
And man, I really didn't like it. Like, I'm not here to go snowboarding, but I have to deal with it being freezing out and snow all over the place and putting on gloves, and then I can't use my phone when I need to call an Uber, and I have to stay. Calling an Uber it's like there's so much planning that goes into it. Like, do I go outside to flag them down? But what if they take long and I'm just freezing outside while waiting for them? But I don't want them to be waiting for me. It's a busy street. So all these things when it's cold out that I don't have to worry about when it's not.
It would destroy your cars too. All those nice cars.
It would.
It rust.
Yeah, you can't drive them in the winter.
Bad.
You guys are just cutting me deep. Okay? I shovel my driveway every single year.
We've got. I love this conversation. I could keep going, but we've got to move on. We are over our time a bit, so we have a couple of games that we want to play. Q, why don't you start us off?
First game. It's called Rapid Fire. That's where the music goes on.
That's it.
Post.
Yeah, the music.
You need a soundboard
so
you can kick off some sound effects for this.
That would be a good idea. Q, put it in the
5 random questions for you, sir. Put you on the spot. Nothing really about Minecraft or anything like that. Just some fun stuff for you. Okay? Are you ready? Question number 1. This is a 3-for-1 question. Okay? Is being centrist...
And I answer quick. Wait, do I answer very quickly? Is that the idea?
Yeah, you can if you want.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, I'm just going to... This is just... Okay. Is being centrist even possible in this divisive political climate of clickbait news features? Does the growing consumption of plant-based meals indicate a mass realization that we now have the choice not to torture living creatures? What does it mean for our society that sports figures and YouTube stars earn millions more than school teachers?
Let's not talk about that.
Oh,
very good.
I love that.
Very good. That's it. That's the whole deal. That is the best music video I think you've ever been a part of.
Oh, thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed that.
I laughed so much.
I'm glad I never get to have a future employer, because they would inevitably find that.
What is this? What is this video we found on you?
Oh,
and also I get to look back on it one day and be like, you know what? At least I looked like that at one point.
Yep.
It's great.
Yep. Man, if you guys don't know what we're talking about, there's a music video. Let's not talk about that. That Captain Sparklez was a part of. You should laugh. Go watch it. But the funniest part about it to me is that you don't talk about politics. You don't talk about relationships. You don't talk about religion. Like, you keep most of those things, except very, very, very little tiny bits, rarely, right? But this video is totally the opposite.
That's the guy. You're the guy.
and
that was part of the joke.
Yeah.
Because Whitney knows that I don't talk about those things. And so, while obviously it's more of an inside joke, you'd have to know me to realize that. It adds a little bit extra layer to the video.
That's great. That's great. All right, question number 2. That wasn't even really a question.
It was a 3-for-1 question.
Question number 2. You are starting a new annual competition for the best scalp movers in the world. Tens of people have entered the competitor's ring to show off their skills, but only one can be the winner. The prize for best scalp mover is a gold medal with a design on it. You have 30 seconds to draw with that pencil and paper you got what the medal will look like, and then we'll describe it for our audio-only listeners. You ready?
Can I just say, funny story. Somebody, I don't know how old this clip is, but somebody earlier today linked me on Twitter. There's a singer named Charlie Puth, and he has a TikTok clip of him doing it.
Oh,
and I was like, wow.
He's in the competition too.
I guess he's in the competition too.
That's right.
Yeah.
So
I was very, very surprised.
Jordan is a scalp mover, by the way, for those of you who don't know. But
are either of you scalp movers?
No. See,
or scalp benders?
When Stifler put this question up, I said, "What is a scalp mover?" Because he's got this video where it's really weird, but it's kind of cool. And I'm like, "What is that?" I didn't even know that was a thing.
I'm gonna.
Hey.
Yeah, no, I can't do that. That's amazing. That is a true talent there. I should have had the rule that you have to draw it for 30 seconds to draw while doing it.
Yeah.
We're gonna count it down. I got timer's gonna start here, and you can get going. We'll talk about this video a little bit. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. You got 30 seconds. There's an old video. Oh, he's doing it. He's actually scalp. I'm sorry to all of you audio-only listeners. You guys are missing this entirely. But this is pretty great. You're 10 seconds in, 20 seconds to go. It's funny. There's also a video. I was gonna say you guys can go and watch this video. We're gonna link to it in the description down below. We're gonna have a whole bunch of links down there. But now you can actually just see it for yourself. Here, his headphones are moving and everything. All that beautiful hair. Yeah. We have 7 seconds left. 5.
I'm waiting.
4, 3, 2.
If it's a picture of Charlie Puth,
1.
I'm gonna be extremely excited.
I mean, you could interpret it that way.
Right.
It looks a little bit like a coin.
Okay.
That you might use as currency.
Yeah.
But
let's see what this looks like. Oh, hey. So we've got a portrait, almost like Julius Caesar kind of
It
deal.
is a bit Caesar-esque.
Yeah, it's a medal with arrows pointing back and forth.
Yeah.
That is great.
Does that work for it?
That works.
That is amazing. I had no idea that was going to happen. It's just now topped.
It's
my
very hard to
bucket
capture
list.
the movement.
Yeah.
I was thinking maybe drawing two sides, one with the scalp like back and one with the scalp forward, but that would be 30 seconds.
Yeah.
It's tough.
No, that was really well done in 30 seconds. And
amazing.
I'm gonna see if I can get that made.
If I win, I want it.
Yeah.
All right, let's go on to the next question.
All right, question 3. You are applying for a job. I guess your YouTube career just kind of went down. So you're applying now for a job as an ice cream scooper at the brand new Void Frogs Creamery. At the end of the interview, you have to sing a song before we can make the decision if you're hired. What song are you going to sing?
Is this... Did you... Hold on. In the background research, like, you know that my first job ever was at Cold Stone and they make you sing.
Yes.
Just making sure.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Good.
Good.
Because this was going to be wildly coincidental.
Yeah.
Are you making me actually sing here?
If you
Because I did that at my job interview, and that was the last time.
No,
I
you
would
don't.
never-
Just what song will you sing?
Yeah.
We can
And
imagine.
you did a backflip for Minecon. You could
did.
do a song for that.
Tippity doo-dah, tippity a, my oh my, what a wonderful day, plenty of dollars heading my way.
Ooh,
Tippity doo-dah, tippity a. That was one of the Cold Stone songs.
get that
Nice.
paper though. That was
Yeah.
good. So that's what you would sing for us, and we would decide if you're hired. We'll have to, check in with our other applicants
Yeah.
before we can
Yeah.
let you know.
Okay.
We'll be in touch.
I think it was
Cool.
pretty good.
Question number 4. How long did you have that job, by the way?
I just did it for one summer.
That's cool.
No.
That's cool. Question number 4. This is a deep question. Would you rather never have to sleep again, but you're always slightly tired, or never have to eat again, but you're always slightly hungry?
God, that's tough.
Yeah. I don't know what I would do.
Because I really like eating, so I don't think I'd want to go without eating. That would be terrible, because eating is enjoyment.
Yeah.
Whereas sleeping, I could be. Sometimes I go through a day just feeling slightly tired anyway.
Mhm.
So I'm like, how different would this slightly tired be from my normal state?
Yeah.
And if that's the case, I would get 8 more hours of productivity in.
Be pretty crazy.
So I might go with the always slightly tired.
Okay. That's fair. That's totally fair. I'm kind of leaning in that direction, but man, I hate making food. I hate making food so much. I just can't do it. So
Hate
Would you
making-
prefer to just have an IV that you could inject nutrients into?
Totally. A pill,
Really?
little pop a pill. Yeah,
No.
that's what.
I am
There's-
totally the opposite. I look forward to each of my meals each
Mm.
day.
Well, maybe I'll get there. I'll start working out, and I'll really care about what I'm putting in my body.
Do not take
Think
that
about it.
cookie.
That's
It's going-
That's right.
This whole week, it just keeps your voice is don't eat that cookie in my
That's
head.
it. That's it.
Okay,
There
question
you go.
number 5. Last question for the rapid fire round.
Yep.
You named your channel on a dare. I think that's correct.
More or less.
Yep. What is the craziest thing you've done because someone dared you to?
Other than that,
Yeah.
Other than that.
God, I don't know. I'm very much a calculated risk kind of person.
Mm.
So someone just prompting me to do something that I've not fully vetted, it's very unlikely I'm going to say yes.
Should have said this
So
podcast.
I can't really, I can't really think of something, honestly. Someone saying do a backflip on the
Yeah.
stage at Minecon or something like that, maybe.
Yeah.
Because there's a very high downside to that if it goes wrong. Whereas if it goes right, I guess people just clap a little bit. But on the
Yeah.
other hand, if it doesn't, you have gone to the hospital up
Yeah.
on stage in front of a bunch of people.
Yeah.
So maybe something like that. But still, it's like I knew enough that I was probably not going to kill myself.
Yeah.
So again, calculated risks. Risks. That's why I didn't drop out of school until I knew it was a very, very viable alternative.
Well,
Same sort of thing.
Yeah, I was wondering that when I saw you at least 2 backflip videos. I'm like, what happens if you like accidentally move the wrong way? And
Yeah.
I would be so like,
You
oh,
just have to
that's-
commit. The worst things happen when you kind of panic in the air.
Yeah.
And you'll be so much better off if you just went for it.
I am not ever going to go for that. I don't care how confident I am. I know that it's not going to work. So, well, good job playing rapid fire. That was great. Okay, we've got one last segment here, and we'll try and move through these pretty quick. Try and be as quick as you can with these. Okay, this is Void Frogs Trivia. I've got
Trivia.
5 questions. The category is I don't really know. It's like a Captain Sparklez, Jordan Maron mishmash
Yeah,
of your
kinda.
videos and stuff.
Ooh.
But we'll get through it. You'll understand.
So I'm seeing if I remember things about myself.
You're on the hot.
Oh God,
Kinda.
this is gonna be so bad. I'm not gonna get any of them.
We'll see.
Grand prize is a medal of the scalp movers.
That's it, the scalp movers competition medal. That's
Perfect score.
oh man, you gotta get 5 out of 5 for that.
Look at
That's
that.
so strange. Oh gosh, I can flip my camera upside down and make a face, but that's the strangest. That's not as strange as what you can
Don't do it.
Okay. First question, Void Frogs trivia. Are you ready, sir?
Yes.
In your very first Minecraft video on your channel, Batman and Isak.
It's spelled Isak, by the way.
Yeah, it's spelled
I go back and change that.
Wait, is it actually
Yes.
misspelled? I can't do that now. That's a relic
I don't know
of
if
the
anybody's
time.
found that before, but
Oh my god.
Featuring Sea Nanners, you had a few items in your inventory. 3. Name one of the items in your inventory.
Oh god.
come on.
Did they not change throughout the video?
You
They do
add another one.
change. You add another one, but
A stone pickaxe.
You got it. Look at that.
very good. It wasn't that hard.
Huh.
That's I could probably reliably guess that for many videos. So
Yeah.
yeah.
You also
Shovel
had
and
10 torches.
Torches.
Okay.
Which then you put in a crafting table and spell a T out of torches, trying to explain this is how you craft, even though you can't do that with torches. But
Yeah.
great
it was
tutorial.
Strange.
Yeah,
moment.
thank you.
Mhm.
T for tutorial.
That's it. That's it. Question number
Okay,
2.
question 2. In 18, I think you'll get this one because you got a little bit of a background here.
Yep.
In 1863, German chemist Julius Wilbrand created a big long word, chemical compound.
No, we gotta say it. Trinitrotoluene.
Chemical compound.
Trinitrotoluene?
That's it.
Yes, that's it. That's it. So you already know the answer. Chemical compound, which you should know from your college days studying chemistry for over 30
TNT.
years. It was experimented on, blah, 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 blah. What's the
Pronunciation is kind of important to answer the question, though. You were about to just skip over the compound, be like, he created
I can't.
also
I can't
known as,
read.
what is it? I'm like,
I speak
well, I don't
English.
know.
I didn't write this question.
Trinitrotoluene.
He already knows. He already knows.
Trinitrotoluene.
It's also known as, or compound more commonly.
TNT, as
TNT.
because of, the words trinitrotoluene.
That's why it was a bad question. My question was going to be, what was it used before TNT? Because it was like 3 decades before they found out it was explosive.
Oh. I do not know the history prior to it being used as an explosive.
Ooh. Well,
All right.
sorry,
already
you
got the
got
question
that
right.
question wrong.
It was yellow
Ouch.
dye, actually, they used it for.
Really?
Yeah.
No,
At least
then-
Wikipedia says it is.
And then people's shirts blew up?
yeah, I think somebody was just putting it on and
they added
a
at
big
30
hole in their
years
chest.
after it
Yeah.
was 30 years after it was invented, they added aluminum to it, and it caused
okay.
some explosions, and so yeah. Oh, we'll still give you the point.
yeah. I'm
I s-
losing a point on the question presentation, actually. From
I
that
thought
one.
it was hilarious. That's why I put it like that.
Thanks for putting it as question 2, pal. Thank you very much.
Question number 3. The Gangnam District, translated to mean south of the river, is a region of 25 local government districts in what major Asian city?
Did you say Gundam or Gangnam?
Gangnam.
Gangnam, so the latter of the two.
Yes.
Okay. Seoul.
Yeah, you got it.
Gosh, dang
It
it.
was 3 for 3. I don't understand what's happening here. This
What
never
about
happens.
the Gundam district?
Yeah.
Is Gundam a
I
location
don't
in
know.
Tokyo? I think it's just the anime, right?
I think it's just I don't know.
But there is a giant Gundam in, is it Shibuya?
I think so.
Gosh,
Yeah.
this guy should
Yeah.
be.
I've been
He should be
seeing that
conducting the questions.
That statue has been popping up a lot on Twitter. People are talking about it. The Gundam statue.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gundam.
Right.
All right.
Good
are we on?
job.
Question
3 for 3.
4?
Question 4.
Thank you.
Okay, question 4. Okay, this is something I can actually read.
Yeah.
Your birthday, February 10th, 1992, which is great because it's near mine, February 3rd, but
Nice.
way older. 82, 10 years. The number 1 song for that day, I think actually the week, was, I'm going to tell you what it is, so don't worry.
Oh, you're gonna. I've heard what it was before, and I thought you were gonna ask, and I was like, oh, I knew it, but anyway, go for it.
It's I'm Too Sexy by Right Said Fred.
Right.
Now, you've obviously heard the song. What is the first line in the song? I'm too sexy for my blank. I can give you multiple choice if you need it.
Is it? Oh no. The one that I have, I know the one that comes to mind most memorably, but I don't know if it's the first line. I'm gonna go with my cat.
Going with your cat.
Do you want to hear the multiple choice?
Wrong. Okay. Give me the multiple choice.
Okay. The first line in the song. I'm too sexy for my shirt. I'm too sexy for my love. I'm too sexy for my captain. I'm too sexy for your party.
I know shirt is in there, so we'll just go shirt.
Oh,
Sounds
I'm
like wrong.
sorry.
Dang.
I'm sorry.
It's been a very,
Metal.
very long time since I've heard that song.
It's okay.
Since you were born.
It's love.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's love.
Dang it.
Yeah. Now you know. Now you
Good
know.
job.
Don't forget it. Don't forget it. That's your
Yeah.
anthem, man. That's your anthem.
That's your birth song.
I know.
Like seriously, you could walk outside right now and you could just be singing that. Take off the shirt, walk around flexing on all your neighbors.
That should be the first line then. I'm too sexy for my shirt.
Hey, next Captain Sparklez music video. I'm too sexy for, and then to make it a Minecraft shirt. Dirt.
Mine.
For my dirt.
Too sexy for
My dirt.
Oh, nice. I like it. All
mine.
right.
Too sexy for my dirt.
That's
a good
yes.
first line.
Sweet.
A new legacy is about to be created. This is great. Question number 5. You are 3 for 4 right now. You can come back with a 4 out of 5.
The metal eludes me.
Oh, sorry. The famously intense Kill Bill films.
Wait,
You know them?
wait. Hold on.
Yeah.
You got a discrepancy in this question.
Do
But
I?
you go
I
ahead.
think it sounds
You
like
go
a free
ahead.
point.
Oh.
You go ahead.
The famously intense Kill Bill films tell a story of revenge by a master martial artist against the titular Bill. Though her real name is never revealed,
It is.
it is revealed apparently. Uma Thurman's character is referred to by what title throughout the movies?
I believe
Oh,
that's the name.
God.
It's a revenge movie, and apparently,
I've seen them, but it was a long time ago.
apparently I'm wrong.
Oh. I feel like we need another question if you didn't even have it
I didn't
written
even have it.
properly.
You know what?
I mean, I could pull a cheeky Google here, but I just honestly don't remember.
Okay. How about this? I'll give you multiple choice. All right.
Okay.
The Cat.
Too sexy for my cat.
Hey,
The shirt.
the shirt. The love. The multiple choice. The Cat. The Bride. The Woman. The Queen.
I'm going to go with The Bride because I know that that's where like the whole revenge thing started, was a wedding.
Very good job. Ding! You got it. Nice
Sweet.
work. I just had
Bonus point if you know her name.
Ooh, you can get back to 5 out of
See, the
5.
thing is, I believe what happened was they kind of did this odd bleeping out in the first movie, and then the second movie, they revealed it as this big.
If I'm not going to remember The Bride, I'm
I don't
not
think
going to remember
Yeah.
her actual name.
No. Well, GG anyway. 4 out of 5. Congratulations. Nice work.
3.5 because we had to go
Beatrix.
multiple choice, but thank you.
You're very
Kiddo.
welcome. You did better than 70% of our other guests. So
Okay. I got a C minus. Good
Yeah.
stuff.
good job. Good
Good.
job.
All right.
Okay. Hey, that was great, Jordan. This has been crazy. This has been weird. I'm going to realize what just happened here today, tomorrow, when I wake
I
up.
didn't live up to the introduction. There's no possible way that I could have, but I'm glad that it seems like you enjoyed the time here.
Yeah, the conversation was great, and I super appreciate you being here. Really, really do. Q, do you have any last things?
Do I
that
have any last Got a million questions. No.
Any last words?
Yeah.
Oh, Captain, my Captain. You ever seen that movie?
Dead Poets.
No, I haven't.
Dead Poets.
Are you
Society.
serious?
I've heard the poem though.
So good.
That's a great
Robin
one.
Williams. Go watch
Great
it.
one. Yep.
In your, of all the time you have to spare in your life.
Yeah.
I
Not-
sneak in a few
busy.
Netflix shows when I'm eating.
Yeah. He doesn't have time for that.
It's a
He's a
long
Minecraft
meal.
YouTuber. Come on.
Yep.
Really appreciate you being here. Do you have anything? I know you mentioned the server earlier. We didn't talk about the new My Night stuff. My Night was huge back in the day. People were begging for it constantly. And now there's like some kind of a weird thing going on. My Night, like something's happening.
Minetian Isles. It's just a bit of a spin-off series. Takes place before all the events of season 1 and season 2. Whether or not it's the same dimension or timeline even, I don't know. We have yet to find out.
Wow.
But that is, I'm streaming that most days of the week other than like Saturdays and Sundays.
It's awesome.
In the mornings Pacific time. So you're free to tune into the live streams. And then, the server that I kind of alluded to earlier, I don't know if it'll be out by the time this thing goes up, but Fallen Kingdom, tower defense kind of stuff. It's looking very cool, and I hope that people enjoy it when it's out.
Well, awesome. We're going to have links. If that's out, we're going to have links to all of that stuff down in the description, also in the show notes. You guys need to go follow Captain Sparklez, Jordan Maron,
Who isn't following?
Jarden. Seriously. We could twitter.com/CaptainSparklez, twitch.tv/
The YouTube channel looks a little bit brokenish, but
it's broken, and we're it's a whole other
sorry.
I feel
Stay
like
tuned for
another.
the
We might, by the time this goes up, maybe we'll have another main channel to link.
Captain
instead.
Sparklez 3.
delete.
First
Captain
video,
Sparklez 2.0.
Yeah.
Mine too sexy for my dirt.
Yeah.
Coming out live.
Excellent
All right.
stuff. Thank you all so much for being here. Thanks, Jordan. I'm gonna last thing. I'll let you have the floor. Do you have any last things that you want to share or say or do at all? There we go. That's it. That's beautiful. Thanks for being here, Jordan. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. You can follow the Void Frogs podcast at thevoidfrogs.com, youtube.com/thevoidfrogs, twitter.com/thevoidfrogs. You can find us on Spreaker, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify.
Did you get MySpace yet?
No MySpace yet. Nope.
Come on.
We're not
There's a
happening.
lot of platforms.
Join our
Yeah, we're hitting
ICQ group.
There's no ICQ
244-244-4190.
Yep, there are no other groups. That is all the ones that we have. But we look forward to seeing you next Friday, Void Frogs Fridays. Have a great week, everybody. And show
Thanks
some
for
love
having me.
Sparklez. Yeah,
Appreciate
thanks.
it.
Jordan,
Awesome. Bye.
see you all around. Peace.
See ya.